I am the opposite of James, because the Teal 20 Under 20 is about not going to school and for 2 years and changing the world right away, because if you have a small window, you have to go out and innovate and do it. You can't wait. So I was the opposite. I went to school. We're both up in New York. I went to Colorado University in Boulder. I was a history major, studying about history, philosophy, a lot of liberal arts, a lot of just big picture thinking. But back then, I would say I was always thinking about, most people don't study history as thinking about how to apply it to today, right? To learn from it and to make the world today better, to innovate. And then I went to law school in Washington, D.C. at George Washington. And while in law school, I started working on, I had no technical experience, but I started working on big ideas to make politics better in America by kind of crowdsourcing and getting collective people together collectively. And I started doing that in the middle of law school and when I was studying for the bar. I'm a lawyer in New York. And then I graduated and started working on this company with politics, and James and I met and started working together, and he'll probably overlap on this as well. And then he applied for the Teal Fellowship, which is with FundElevator. Our company is called FundElevator, by the way. It's a crowdfunding platform for political change, so for political issues and for candidates. Because I don't know about Guatemala as much, but in America, everyone thinks of us as like this model for modern democracy, but we have lots of problems, as you may or may not know, as far as politics really not working the way it should. And the main reason for that is because of the campaign finance. These people spend $20 million US on a Senate campaign, and usually, so when they get into office, all they care about is getting reelected, needing the money to win, and because that money comes from a few people, usually the special interest groups are the only people that get heard. So we wanted to kind of do a big game changer and really get the people involved. So we crowdfund issues and candidates, and we also do some special iPhone apps and things like that. So James did the Teal Fellowship with that, and so that's kind of my story, our story. We met, we were family friends, and I think so. You know, it's been a long journey. We've been doing this for like about a year, but have learned so much, again, just from doing it and taking the risk of doing it. So I'd say some more important things that I learned was the importance of having a good co-founder, a good team, to complement each other and to just work well together. And then going out and really pursuing opportunities. A lot of times we got great opportunities, like in New York, presenting at a prestigious meetup in front of thousands of people. It was just me like emailing months every week, not stopping, right? And always working to make it better, your product. And again, we didn't really have any business background as far as studying in school, like how to market. When you really want to find solutions and you're driven enough, you kind of find ways to get it done. So it's been a pretty long journey as far as when we first started this thing. I've had a lot of great experiences and meeting, obviously, so many politicians and billionaires and just things that I look at like, 3 months ago, and I was like, how did we do this so quickly? So things have been very good, and we're, have had some good initial success, and now looking to keep growing, like any company would want to. But that's kind of my story, our story a little bit, and then James, if you want to talk about, since you were a kid, all the entrepreneurial stuff you did.
So I started growing up. My family was very frugal. They taught me the value of money from a young age. We grew up in a pretty wealthy neighborhood, but my dad was a mechanic and my mom was a real estate agent. By the time I was 10, I started my first company. I made jewelry at a town fair and sold it. I made like $1,000 on a weekend, and from there I just didn't stop. From then on, I always had a job doing something. I worked at a plant nursery. I worked at a local supermarket. Not so much starting my own companies, but getting used to working hard and getting this entrepreneurial spirit that I incubated, realizing that I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be working for anybody else. I want to be doing my own thing. When I was 16, I started working for a company called Dr. Chrono, which was the first electronic medical record company. They were also a Y Combinator company. All I did there was data entry. I didn't have any computer experience, any technology experience. I just did data entry and managing of all their doctors. Through that, I then realized, like, hey, I totally want to do this. I want to get involved. I want to learn how to code. So when I was done interning with them, I started teaching myself how to code. I opened up a book, and I just basically gave myself weekend projects. Like, this week, I'm going to build an iPhone game. This week, I'm going to be building a website. And little by little, I learned how to code and learned all the basics that I need in order to build a full company off of that. By senior year, I was building like an iPhone game every week as my projects. I built like an Angry Birds type game with like a physics engine just for fun, and I did all this stuff until I realized I met up with my co-founder, not Mickey, but my old co-founder.
Is it your ex?
Yeah, my ex-co-founder. And we started a company called Eligible, where I built the first iPhone application that let people check their health insurance in the United States with over 800 different insurance providers. What was so powerful about this was before, so many people didn't know what they were qualified for with insurance. So they'd go to the doctor and wouldn't realize that they get like 12 free acupuncture visits per year, or their co-payment on let's say a chiropractor visit was only $20, so it only cost them $20 to go to the chiropractor. What we did is we opened it up for them. And then from the other side, from the doctor side, they would have a visit with a patient, and they wouldn't know whether they would cover it or not till the end of the day after they already had their visit. So they would be losing money because they realized they're not actually qualified, and it was a whole fiasco. So what was so powerful about this company was that everybody wanted it. Through that, I got into Y Combinator, but while I was still in high school. So what I would do is every weekend I would fly to San Francisco, which is where my company was located, and be back for school Monday morning. So it was a big commitment. I'd be taking red eyes back in the morning to try to attend school that same day. So when the day after I graduated high school, I moved to California to continue what I was doing. I decided to not go to school because I felt Eligible was a very successful company, and I really wanted to attend Y Combinator. So I made that decision. So once I got into Y Combinator, we met with the best entrepreneurs in the United States, and it was truly an amazing experience, and I was very happy to go through that. By the time Y Combinator was over, I decided that I would like to resign as CTO and co-founder of Eligible to do something bigger. I saw this huge overlap. For what I was doing, we were dealing with a lot of government regulations, and in issues that shouldn't have been regulated in the first place. So I decided I want to do something bigger and work in the government. So political reform specifically. I met up with Mickey and I started working with him. And last year I was awarded with the Thiel Fellowship. Peter Thiel, the founder of PayPal, gives 20 kids under the age of 20 $100,000 to forego school. And I was lucky enough to be selected with FundElevator. And we're working really hard to change campaign finance in the United States right now. So that's it for me.